Hey John, this is John, West Coast Connects. We reached out and spoke with you last week, promised this free video, so here it is. I'm going to keep things really short and quick. Just want to show you 3 tips that you could do to, potentially increase your traffic online. So with that, let me get started. You guys are doing a lot of good things here. You have your form submit here at the top. You have your click to call here button. Those really help for conversions. The only other thing I would potentially add is maybe a virtual chat button. That can usually help as well, but you do have a bunch of different ways for people to contact you right off the bat. And a lot of times people don't go beyond this, this window here. So you're doing a lot of good things here. Love your logo. There's some really cool things with your site. You have your reviews, automated here. This showed up in like a light show type thing. So, there's a lot of cool things that your site's doing. Though one thing I would say though, and looking through your site is that there's not a ton of content here. And content is anything that you can highlight, whether it be pictures, text. In this instance, I'm talking about text. And you really want a lot of content, specifically text, for quite a few reasons, but we'll just go for really two. The first reason is so that you can be found for specific keywords. And you are being found for 27. And, like your name, Lotus Roofing, you're ranking number 1. Roof restorations, you're on the second page. But beyond like your name and these roof restorations, which is like a national keyword, and not a ton of volume here. As you can see, you're getting a click every other month. You're not really getting a lot of traffic or volume. And typically, what we would want to do is we would want to find keywords that are buyer specific that have to do with those services. So you do a lot of services, in terms of like fencing and roofing and painting and remodeling. I'm going to focus on roofing here, but you can really use it to do any of those services and you can build out all of them. But what you want to do is, I looked at Plano, Texas and I actually looked at Dallas as well. There's a lot of volume in Dallas, but there's a lot of volume in Plano too. You can see, almost 4,000 searches a month for roofing of some way, shape, or form. So this Roofing Companies Plano, Texas is a great buyer intent keyword because most of the people who are going to search for that keyword are looking for a roofing company to have work on their site, site, whether it be commercial, residential, what have you. So if I wanted to rank for that particular keyword, I would have it as a heading, I would have it within my text, and I would probably save an image as that keyword. So instead of this being saved as DSC whatever, excuse me, I would save it as roofing companies, Plano, Texas. And having that in a few locations throughout your site really lets Google know that you deal with that keyword and you have it verbatim within your site, and it allows you to rank faster and more efficiently. So, having content super important. It does, the more content, the more keywords you can be found for. And then the second reason why it's important is because it is a ranking factor. So if you look at sites like Wikipedia or Yelp, one of the reasons why they do so well is they just have a ton of content, a ton of volume there. And it's about quality and quantity. So you really want to build up that. So that would be my first real tip is just to add content through your site and have those buyer intent keywords throughout. And potentially depending on your search or your work radius, you might want to add location pages that are specific to certain areas. So if you want to work in Dallas, you have a Dallas page where you list your services and you can put those keywords in there then. Plano, Frisco, wherever it is you work. So, that would be my first tip. My second tip would just be to continue to build and grow this Google business profile. And you're doing a good job here. You're probably ranking, in the top 3 for a couple of things. Although for Plano roofing, I don't see you here. And really how you build and grow this, reviews are a great way to strengthen this up. Google feels that if your clients trust and feel that you're doing a good job, then they should trust you, right? So if you can get a review or two a week, that'll be 50 or 100 reviews a year. And there's a few ways to do it. Obviously, you can email clients at the end of the job and say, hey, can you please give us a review? That's pretty effective. There's review services you can pay to have 5-star reviews put up there. There's also what we found very effective is you get a QR code, you link it to your review form, you print it out, you laminate it, you give it to your installers, and at the end of a job, they can give it to the property owner, and within a matter of seconds or minutes, they have a review up on Google. So, pretty effective. Having this information pretty consistent throughout the web is very important. So, if somebody's looking on your Yelp page or Home Advisor or Angie's List or Nextdoor or your website, you want to make sure that all this information is the same, right? If your hour's different, Google won't like that because what they want to see is that people can search um, on a variety of different platforms and get the same and accurate information. So, really important that the information you have throughout the web is accurate and the same everywhere. And then last but not least, you want to save photos that are saved as specific keywords and geotagging. Uh, so what happens is if I wanted to rank for Roofing Companies Plano, Texas, I would save an image as that keyword, and then I might geotag it here, and Google will feel that you did some service or some work in this particular location. And you just kind of want to continue to build and build and build and go out and further and further and further, and your Google business profile will kind of balloon as Google sees where you work and your service radius. And then you do want to, in fact, you know, do this quite a few times. You want to add photos kind of often and post and stuff like that. But those three things you can do that will definitely help you. And last but not least, you really want to strengthen up your site. And how you strengthen your site is by getting referring domains that send links back to your site. And you want them, a majority of them, or at least a big portion of them to be do follow. And do follow links are the ones that send you power. And what that'll do is that'll grow this visual representation here of the strength and trust that Google has within your site. And what that looks like in your competition. So this is Helsley Roofing. And as you can see here, they're 31 and a 3. You really want to see a 1-to-1 ratio, and they don't have that, but it's still pretty strong. They're ranking on almost 1,000 keywords, and as you can see, they have 56 do follow links, 104 referring domains, and they're getting 248 clicks a month. And if you go into Dallas, some of those roofing companies get pretty big. Lawn Smith is one of the biggest ones, and as you can see here, they have over 200 do follow links, and they're getting 2,600 clicks a month, and definitely a pretty strong site. So, I hope these tips have been helpful. I hope I've been informative. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, would like some help. My contact information is in the email. I also have a link to our Google Calendar. Myself or my business partner Jackie would love to get in contact with you at whatever time fits your schedule. But with that, have a great day and God bless.